Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester. And we are looking at some nice sunshine. It was kind of ominous, I should say, this morning because we had some rain shower activity. We had plenty of clouds. The winds were picking up a little bit, and it was promising to be kind of a damp, cold, chilly, cut-through-you type day. But as we've gone through the morning hours, the damp part is gone. We're still looking at some chilly conditions. At least it feels pretty chilly. And the winds are beginning to pick up just a little bit as well. Matthew, what do we have as far as temperatures and those wind speeds?
So, over at the airport, it's sunny at 49. Over in Midland, it's also sunny at 49. Here at Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 50. We have west winds at 18, gusting up to 26 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.95, and it's steady.
We'll continue to see those winds gusty, picking up maybe a few more miles per hour here as we go through the afternoon. Still coming out of the west for the most part, gusts up to 35, 38 miles per hour here later on today with partly cloudy skies as we go through the day. We're looking for, not so much in the way of precipitation anymore. We picked up anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 4/10 of an inch from many of our locations here in the central part of the Lower Peninsula. Some folks down in the southeastern corner picking up a little bit more. Others over in Michigan's thumb picking up a little bit more as well. But that's going to be about it. It looks like the next couple of days. I think the best chance of seeing any precipitation at all is going to be after midnight on Monday night. But in between, we're going to stay a little bit on the chilly side. We might get up to about 52. That's going to be it with breezy conditions and mostly sunny skies. Clouds will kind of move in a little bit more tonight. There will be some breaks in the clouds, and that is going to allow the temperatures to drop down. I don't think we're going to hit freezing here, at least in the Great Lakes Bay area, but low-lying areas will drop down to about 32 tonight. That's because of those clear breaks. The wind speeds will be dying down, but still we'll have gusts up to 25 miles per hour till we get past midnight tonight. Still coming out of the west. Now, tomorrow we're going to be looking at a west breeze. Once again, it's going to pick up a little bit, 30 miles per hour, more than likely. Temperatures are not going to pick up much. We're going to look at a high 47 tomorrow. Sun, then clouds later in the afternoon. The reason why we're going to be seeing those chilly temperatures, we have a high pressure system over Nebraska, and that guy is going to be pulling with his clockwise circulation of air some pretty chilly air out of Canada right over us and in areas all the way down to the Ohio River Valley, which is kind of interesting because just a couple of days ago, where we were looking at temperatures in the mid 50s, maybe right around 60, they were hitting the middle 80s along the Ohio River. And now they're going to be looking at a pretty good chance of seeing tonight temperatures dropping down into the middle 30s there. And they aren't going to get much warmer than we will be tomorrow. Tomorrow night is going to be an interesting night because we are looking at the winds to still be around westerly at about 10, 12 miles per hour. But our temperature tomorrow night will drop down to the freezing mark of 32. Sunday, still pretty chilly, 55 for a high, mostly sunny skies. A low on Sunday night, I think it will drop down to 32 once again. The difference is going to be from Saturday night to Sunday night. We're going to have a breeze on Saturday night. Right now, the chances of wind on Sunday night aren't going to be as good as what they will be on Saturday night. Sunday, we're going to have gusty winds up to about 30 miles per hour with temperatures 55. But Sunday night, with that temperature dropping down to 32, frost will be likely here in the Great Lakes Bay Area. There still is going to be a chance of that frost on Saturday night, but I think the chances of frost will be better on Sunday night. Either way, if you have tender foliage out there, if you've put anything in the ground, you better be covering it up. If you've got a pot or two that's planted, you better plan on either bringing it in or covering it up, because those temperatures will be dropping down and it will cause some damage on that tender foliage. Moving into the work week next week, Sunday, or I should say Monday, mostly sunny. We'll see a few more clouds late in the day, 62 for a high on Monday. Monday night will drop down to about 45, 46. After midnight, the chances of precipitation will begin to increase, because during the day on Tuesday, we're looking at that day to be a showery day, 62 for a high, 36 for a low. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, I think we'll go back into the sunshine. But Wednesday night, look for those temperatures to drop down to about 28 degrees. So we're not out of the woods yet, where this is typical Michigan spring, where we will this time of the year see some frosty conditions or temperatures dropping down into, as I said, the upper 20s. The key to the whole thing, obviously, especially for our fruit growers, those temperatures will be dropping down, but we're not looking for them to stay for any long length of time. Usually once those temperatures drop down below the middle 20s, that's when we begin to see or have some problems. So Wednesday night, kind of keep that in mind, especially if you're a fruit grower, that there might be some issues developing, because we are going to be looking right now anyway at mostly clear skies. Record high in this state is 83. That was set back in 2005. The record low was 21. That was set back in 1918, tied in 1926, and then tied in 1947. A year ago today, our low was 28. Our high was 50. The warmest ever, 19th of April, set back in 1927. The coldest was in 1918, where 41 was our high, 21 was our low. And yeah, we picked up about an inch of snow back in 1947 on this date. The 2-day total for April the 18th and April the 19th back in 1947 was just under 4 inches of snow. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Oh yeah, and two, the above average temperature trend will begin to kick in right around the 25th, 26th of the month. So that means the final weekend of the month of April, we are looking for our weather to shape up rather nicely, and we're looking for our temperatures to be above normal. Coming up next, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant today. The last time I looked at the Chicago Board of Trade trading, I said to myself, man, I better get Gary Kaufman on the air right away. Gary, good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, good morning, Terry. Yeah, you're exactly right. We've seen enough negative numbers on the board all week, so it's nice. Hopefully we can finish out a Friday on the positive side.
Yeah, well, at least at noon anyway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yesterday, we've seen July corn futures close at their lowest settlement since February 27th, and then we had a new contract low on the May soybean futures yesterday. So maybe Chicago says enough's enough, and we found the bottoms, and it's time to do some funds are buying back some of those short positions, and we can go upward and onward.
Is
So.
there any particular reason other than they decided to do it that the markets are responding the way they are?
Well, I think some of it, part of it's probably, late last night, Terry, we've seen news break that Israel attacked central Iran, and we had a lot of volatility in the overnight trade. So that is definitely part of it. And in South America, we're having some, potential problems coming with some of the harvest there. I think grasshopper invasion, from what I'm hearing, is doing a lot of damage down there. So even though the Brazil soybean harvest is, that's 90% done, but it's affecting more of the corn than anything, I think, down there. But that's something to watch as well. And, it's going to get hotter and drier down there as we're looking at forecast. And other than that, again, we're watching the Black Sea again and see if anything develops over in Europe and Russia, Ukraine. All those things are still on the headlines, and it's just a matter of how Chicago's going to interpret those. But weather moving forward will be a major factor as well. So.
Yeah, the Ukrainian situation continues, but of course, all headlines are what's going on with Gaza Strip there, the Israelis, the Iran, and those passageways there. I haven't really heard too much lately about Black Sea traffic. What's going on? Does it seem like whatever the Ukrainians are able to ship out, they're able to get out?
Yeah, it seems to me, I mean, their exports are definitely down. I think the last time I read something, Terry, they were down probably 25% on their exports. And of course, their production is going to be less moving forward too because of the war. And Russia did have some certificate issues trying to get stuff exported. So a little bit of disruptions here and there, but you haven't heard too much about, some of the export houses being damaged by missile attacks and stuff lately. It's been, I guess you could almost say, quiet with the Middle East stuff on the front burner, and maybe the Black Sea stuff's kind of on the back burner, but it's still going. So for sure. So
no, that's what I was afraid of, because it just keeps making these markets do funny things. Unfortunately, the funny things, it's how low can you go in the hole,
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you have on the board right now, Gary?
Yeah, right now, Cherry, cash wheat up 10 at 542 on the white, 452 on the red. New crop also up a dime at 558 on the white, 478 on the red. Cash corn up 6 at 353. New crop up 5 at $4. Cash soybeans currently up 14 at 1063, and new crop, let's call it up 12, Terry, at 1081.
That up has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It sure does.
You have a nice weekend, Gary.
I will. You do the same. Thank you, Terry.
You betcha. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as all of those things going on and how they're affecting the Chicago Board of Trade, not only the ag futures, but some of the other related issues. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me right now. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, making agricultural loans since 1895. Obviously, farming today continues to offer challenges that are very demanding, and Thumb Bank helps you to stay up to date on industry trends and the trends of your operation. They have locations to serve you throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust, equal opportunity lender, and member FDIC. Also by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline. If you're in the market for a new Ram commercial truck or a Ram heavy-duty truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business-linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, now's the time during spring Ram commercial truck season to go to Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where Family and Service sells cars. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Well, yeah, it is. At least what Gary Kaufman was saying, we had some green here going.
A little bit. Let's call it a relief rally, not a trend yet. I need to have some more positive days and a little higher numbers before we can call it a trend. Same thing on the stock market, a little relief rally. We'll see where she goes. Copper hit another new high today, so that's trading at like 452 a pound, a little over that. So that's probably going to affect housing, at least the net price of the house that you intend on building. Tesla hit another new low today, so that's still trending down. It's kind of interesting what's going on with Trump media, back up to $34 a share, and it hit about $22 a couple 3 days ago. So that's interesting. He's calling out the short sellers, which are basically the major banks that tend to short stocks without any regulation because they know the rules and how to get around them. But anyway, that's all over my pay grade. So here's your numbers. The July corn is 441 3/4, up 5.5. December corn 464.5, up 4.5. The July soybeans 1162, up 13. November soybeans 1160 1/4, up 11. July wheat 561 1/4, up 8 1/4, and December wheat 603, up 8 cents. Crude oil took a dive and then it came back, and so now it's trending a little higher, but not much. 83.07, up 34 cents. Heating oil is 255.19, up 1.8 cents. Gasoline 271.5, pretty much unchanged. Natural gas is 231 1/4, also pretty much unchanged. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3740 Canadian. That's down 25 ticks. The dollar buys 154.55 yen. That's down 8 ticks. The euro's gaining a little bit of traction, 106.60, up 17 ticks. And the dollar's setting at 106.004, barely above 106. That's down about 14.5 ticks. Gold is at 23.7780, down $4.50. Silver's 28.21, down 11.5 cents. Platinum's at 9.34, down $12.50.
You have a nice weekend, Doug.
Thanks, you too.
All righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Matthew, who do we have up next?
Up next, we have Craig Voorhees from the Rummel Insurance Agency.
But before we get to him, let's take a break.
The versatile Kubota B-Series is a do-it-all tractor. Run powerful attachments that can be easily switched out. It features a hydrostatic transmission and is simple to maintain. The Kubota B-Series. It makes the hard work look easy. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge, Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
Along with us right now, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, I don't think the wind is going to allow us to do much spraying, but you got a tip or two right now.
Right, Terry. Everybody's telling me that the planters are going to be rolling next week as long as the weather cooperates. And soon after that, the spraying takes place. And, with the wind, we always have to be careful of the drift and the overspray and those kind of scenarios. You want to double check with your agent, make sure you've got coverage for that. And the other thing is, if one of those events does happen, and we all know they do, even though we can be as careful as we want to be, make sure you let your insurance company know, even though the claim isn't likely to be settled until the fall at harvest. You want to get the process started when it happens and not wait until after the fact. So just keep those things in mind as we're out and about this spring.
Good time to be asking those questions right now, Craig?
It is. I know a lot of planters are ready to go. Some have already moved a little bit, but we've got some rain and some moisture, so I think most folks are sitting still, and now would be the time to get those questions answered before it's you forget about them and you're busy out in the field.
And how do we get a hold of you?
Oh, we're always happy to talk on the phone, Terry, at 800-572-0939, or you can go to rummelinsurance.com and get a hold of us through the website.
You have a nice weekend, Craig.
That's the plan. You too, Terry.
Oh, you bet. Take care. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. A lot of work to be done outside. As Craig said, there's planters trying to get a little bit more in the ground. There are some crops in the ground right now, and a lot of folks looking at trying to get the work done around the house as well. I've got Chuck Cervinski from Maple Hill Nursery on the line with me right now. And Chuck, let's talk a little bit about mulching.
Yeah, a lot of people in here today buying mulch. Why should we mulch? That's a question that's asked all the time. Well, it conserves soil moisture, reduces evaporation. It helps regulate our soil temperature when the weather gets a little hotter later on. It adds organic matter to the soil. It will also control weeds, and also provides a buffer between mowers and weed whackers, reducing likelihood of tree trunk damage when you're out there mowing. What's the best material to use as far as mulch? Most of the time, it boils down to what's pleasing to your eye. Cost, availability, and appearance are all usually factors as well. When you want more benefits of an organic matter and moisture conservation, ground bark or wood chip mulch is used. When you want low maintenance, maybe you want to use stone. And also, when choosing a mulch, take into account that some plants are going to react differently when using certain mulches, and this really comes into play when you're planting flowers. You don't want to use a mulch with high acidity, and you're going to apply any kind of mulch 2 to 3 inches deep, and that's normally adequate. If you got mulch from last year, usually a 1-inch layer is going to be adequate to top dress what you have.
Now, as far as that goes, it was there last year. It's there this year. Should you work that mulch up a little bit, Chuck?
It never hurts to do that. What we recommend is work that up a little bit and maybe put down some pre-emergent weed killers such as preen. That's one that's been around for a long time. And that definitely will help with weed control before you put the new layer over top.
Good advice. And for more information, how do we get a hold of you?
You can call us here at the store at 989-835-4708. You can visit our website, www.maplehillmidland.com.
Chuck Cervinski, you have a great weekend. I know you're open tomorrow.
Yeah, here 8 to 4 tomorrow. Sunday hours will start not this Sunday, but the Sunday after.
All right. You take care. Have a great weekend. Okay, Chuck?
You too. Talk to you next week.
You bet. Chuck Cervinski with Maple Hill Nursery. Along with us right now, Stephanie Zelenko with AgroLiquid. Stephanie, we've been alluding to it here pretty much all morning long and all week long. There are crops that are in the ground right now, right?
There are. I've heard of a number of people that have planted corn already and even a few soybeans.
So at this stage of the game, it's a waiting game, right?
It is. This weekend is a nice reality check for us that we're not quite into those, warmer spring weather, even though we've had a number of days over the past weeks for that. But once we get through this cold snap, I think it's going to pick up the pace and we're going to see a lot more guys getting out there in the field and start to get things opened up and ready to go.
If we've got sugar beets that have broken the crust, I mean, they're up. What's the cold weather going to do to them?
Sugar beets are a little bit more tolerant than some other crops. And I think as long as we don't stay too cold for too long, they'll be fine. But, we always run that risk of anything that's come up, already. And we do see those temperatures below freezing that we can have some damage. And sugar beets are one of those crops that once it gets frosted off, then we have to look at a replant.
Stephanie, you take care. Have a great weekend, okay?
You too.
All righty. Stephanie Zelenko with AgroLiquid. We'll be right back.
Are you just starting to look for a new vehicle and you're just waiting to hear the new and improved offers on your favorite Chevy? Well, guess what? There aren't any. I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Ambassador, and you heard me right. There aren't any new and improved offers. But the great news is that last month's new and improved fantastic offers have been extended. Thanks to lousy weather, sales didn't start jumping until the end of the month. At Cook Chevrolet, you can still lease a Silverado from as little as $299. You can still lease a Blazer from $289. And for the best offer in the country, Equinoxes start at just $209. We've still got a lot full of Chevys, including almost 100 Silverados. You need to find out what savvy shoppers found out last month. Silverados $299, Blazers $289, and Equinoxes just $209. That's Cook Chevrolet and 15 Top of the Hill in Vassar.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. $2,000 cash down plus all upfront fees due at signing. Chevy, together let's drive.
Farm Service has been brought to you by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got a great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's to help you increase your yields. And of course, they're a Dairyland Seed headquarters as well. They've been serving folks since 1983. Where serving you is their business. Freeland Bean and Grain. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.